Okay. So yes, we're starting with vectors. Now, for people familiar with arrays, this is going to be easier for you. If it's not, it's okay. So this is boring. I'm not going to explain this. So imagine you have a container, all right, and you have boxes. So in each box, you're storing something. This is essentially what a vector is. It is a dynamic array, but if you're not familiar with the term array, it's a container, okay, which stores a set of values. All right. So like, and each container has been given a number so that each box in the container has been given a number so that you can, identify it. All right. So like the first box is 0, the second box is 1. Okay. This is how you identify it. You say the fourth box contains this value. All right. Um, So say this has 10, this is 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. So like you're storing these integer values in the container. So this is a data type, all right, just like string or character or int, this is a data type sort of. So the way you define it is, first you write vector, and then you, within these greater than and less than symbols, you enclose the data type. So here we were storing integers in the container, right? So int. And then you give the container a name. So I give it the name of container. Just C or V. Yeah. Okay. So this is how you define a vector. Okay. And also, like, what you could do is, later on you could initialize it just the way you were doing for other data types. Like you could store values in this container this way, like so what you're doing is you're taking numbers from 0 to 10 and you're storing them in the container. The way you're storing them is, first you're defining the vector, and then you are pushing the values one by one into the container. Does this make sense? Like for Python, I guess
When
the
are you
equivalent.
defining the size of the vector?
No, you can choose not to, or you could, give it a size too. If you want to give it a size, say you use parentheses and give the size. In this case, the vector will be initialized with five boxes, 5 spaces, and each will contain 0. Okay. If you're not doing it, then it's fine. Like it won't give you an error. You're just pushing the values one by one into the container. All right. So for Python, the equivalent function is append, and for JS, it's push, JavaScript. Okay. Is this part clear? Okay, let me print it. Also, you cannot just do this. You cannot print it like this. You cannot do this. It will give you an error. Yes. So you have to iterate through the container and print the values one by one. So you have to go to each box and then print the value in the boxes. size. Yeah, so it prints the value stored in the container in each box. So the first box contains 0, next one contains 1, it goes on till 11. Okay, is this thing clear? The way pushback works?
How is it 11?
Uh, 1 second. Huh. Okay. Huh, 1 second, just let me figure this out.
Higher value enter করছিস কিন্তু I তো শুরু হচ্ছে 1 দিয়ে এখানে 0 দিয়ে
There is something. Acha, no. 1 second. I get this.
J.
Oh, acha, yes, that was. it was not supposed to be J previously. Arey. Okay. So I was printing the wrong value. Less. So this is correct now. Sorry for the stupid thing that I did a few minutes ago. So the way you print each of the values present in each of the boxes is, you take the index, you give the name of the vector, and then within the square brackets you enclose the uh, the number of the box, like I told you, right? So each box has been assigned a number. The first one is 0, the second one is 1, right? So like if you want to access the first value, you'll get 0. Okay, for now, let me comment this out. So like suppose you want the first value, the way you do it is like this. So this will give you the first value, which is 1. Yes. For second value, you do 2. All right. So for third value, you do 2. For second value, you do 1. So this goes from 0. And this thing, v dot size, it gives you the size of the container. Now, when you're iterating through the, through each of the boxes, you cannot give less than and equal to size, because, the last box does not like the number assigned to the last box is 1 less than the size of the container. So here, the size of the container is 6, right? Sorry, it's 7. And the number assigned to the last box is 6. And the first box is 0. Okay. Is this part clear? Like the only the printing, the the indexing part, how you index and vector. There's
Indexing
some coming to.
value input টা একটু আলাদা বলতো।
So like the container contains boxes, right? And each box has been assigned a number. And these boxes are stored in a sequence. Okay. So the first box has been assigned 0. The second is 1. Third is 2. So suppose you want to get this box. How will you get the value stored in this box? So you have to use this number. Sorry, you have to use this number 3. How? And the way you do it is you give the vector name, which is v, and then within square brackets you give the number assigned to that particular box, which is 3, and then you get 7. All right.
আমরা যখন কোনো ভ্যালুকে ইনপুট করছি, আমরা কি কোনো স্পেসিফিক বক্সে ইনপুট করতে পারি, পুরো অ্যারেতে, পুরো ভেক্টরটাতে ইনপুট না করে?
Is this my net issue or can you all hear him? Because I cannot. Achha. Hello.
Hello.
Audible.
Wait. Achha, was Avrudeep audible to you all?
Yes, he was audible.
Achha, then I guess it's on my side. Anyway, can you repeat it, Avrudeep? Whatever you asked just now.
I'm giving it in the chat box. Wait.
Okay, no, it's okay now. Say.
বলছিলাম যে কোনো স্পেসিফিক বক্সে যদি আমরা কোনো ভ্যালু ইনপুট করতে যাই, তাহলে সেটা কিভাবে করব, ওই লুপটাকে ছাড়া?
So like so you have 7 here in the third box, right? In the fourth box.
ভ্যালু বার করার জন্য
You just assign it, right? এখানে say in the first box you want 10.
ইনপুট নিয়ে অ্যাসাইন করছি, কিন্তু ইনপুট নিয়ে।
আচ্ছা, মানে entire thing you want input, right? আচ্ছা এখান থেকে input নিয়ে okay. হ্যাঁ, সেটা তো the same way you take input না for loops. I mean input টা লাস্টে দেখাচ্ছি, ঠিক আছে? First just get this array a vector thing here. Input একটা ঘাপলা আছে পরে. Yes. So this is how you use the pushback function, and the size v dot size gives you the size of the vector. Okay, this is just vectors. And also, suppose you don't want to assign it values using a loop, you could do something else too. Within curly braces you give the values that you want to store here. Okay, so there are 3 ways to declare a vector. First, you could do it without giving any size or any values, just defining it. Then you could give the number of elements that you want in your vector, say 2, or you could assign the values at once. All right. Okay, Adrika and everyone else?
Yeah, I understood.
Okay, cool. So, so the vector part is over. This is what it says here. So syntax is vector, then the data type, and then the variable name. This is a variable name, and then the elements. This part is optional. You may not, include this part in parenthesis. This is an example. Okay. Then you have iterators. I just read this part first? You don't have to understand it now. An iterator allows you to access the data elements stored within the C++ vector. It is an object that functions as a pointer. I will just give you a vague idea of what a pointer is. You won't be requiring it in CP, in competitive programming. And there are many issues that accompany pointers. Okay, so for iterators, imagine there's this particular arrow, all right, and it's pointing to one of the boxes. This is how an iterator works, basically. So the iterator, v.begin, where is the PPT? Yes. So you have an iterator dot begin. Don't follow the syntax. So there is an iterator v.begin. V is the name of the vector. So v.begin points to the first box. Okay. And v.end points to a theoretical location just after the last box. All right. So v.end is here and v.begin is here. Okay. So this is the beginning, this is the end. And, we were using indexing for printing the values stored in the boxes. We could do it using pointers too. And you will be needing pointers for when I teach you sets. Here it's optional, right? You could either use indexing or pointers, but for sets, you have to use pointers. So the way you do that is, you have auto, it is a name of the pointer, and auto is, so like a vector can store also, yeah, I forgot to tell you this. We were storing int here, right? Same way you can store characters or strings too. So like a character vector would look like this. Vector, ch. And string one would look like this. All right. So what auto is, like, normally when we were, looping through an array, we were using the data type, right? We had to give the data type first. So here, what it does is, you might not know what your container is storing. And the pointer, like, it works for all data types. So this is just you use when you're using pointers auto, so that, you don't have to give data type for this. This is kind of vague, even I'm not sure about why we're using it, but this is how you use pointers, like iterators. Okay, first auto and then the name of the iterator, and then it's starting from v.begin, iterates as long as it is not equal to v.end, and then you're updating the value of the pointer. And then also when you want the value that the pointer is pointing to, so this is the pointer 8. Okay, so when you want this value, you have to use this asterisk symbol in the beginning. Okay.
What does the auto mean?
For iterators, see here the variables were like actual values, right? Like you're storing 1 and I, so you're giving the data type here. For iterator is not a variable storing an integer or character or string. It's a pointer basically, right? It is pointing to a particular value. So for this you use auto.
Why does it print 13?
Where, huh? Because
One
see,
একটা পাশাপাশি print করছে।
so like it's printing this, right? And I
Yeah.
have not given endl here, so it's not printing in different lines. Like I could do this and with space, then you'll see 1 space 3.
Okay, so it is printing together.
Yeah, yes. So it's printing the values stored in all the boxes. All right.
Okay.
Are there any questions in this part, the vector thingy? No?
No.
Now in C++, this is so in other programming languages we use arrays, right? And we can modify those arrays, like we can push values into them, or we can delete values from them. In C++, you cannot do that in C++ arrays, which is why you need to use vectors. Vectors are dynamic arrays and they allow you to do these things to the array. Okay, we were using pushback here, pushing values into the container. C++ arrays won't allow you to do that, but vectors will. Same way, there are some other modifiers. So you have iterators begin end, and then you have these modifiers. Pushback I've already shown you. Then you have insert, pop back, erase, clear. Okay. Insert works just like what the name suggests, right? So v dot insert. Say you want to insert a value before the third box. Okay, so before 8 you want to insert 5. So if I do this, first the location, so yeah, you are taking in 2 parameters. First the location, yes, where is it? Figma file. First the location of the box that you want to insert, before which you want to insert the value, and then the value itself. So here, this is what? The third box, right? So this is v dot begin plus 2. V dot begin is the first box and plus 2 is the third box. Okay. So insert begin plus 2 and then 5. Okay, this is a different container that I'm using for. See, so you got 5 before 8, right? Previously, we didn't have this 5. So it's inserting 5 before v dot begin plus 2. And v dot begin plus 2 was previously 8. Now, so can you tell me what the position of 8 is right now? Like, if there is an iterator pointing to this, what will the iterator be?
3. No, 0, 1, 2.
Iterator, not the index. I'm not asking the index. Yes.
এই প্লাস 2 টা আরেকবার একটু বলতো। কনফিউজ হয়ে গেল।
This part.
প্লাস 2 টা কেন হলো?
V dot begin was 10. So plus 2 is এখানে v dot begin was 10 plus 1 is this 9 plus 2 is this. So you have a pointer. V dot begin points to the first box. When you're adding 1 to it, it's pointing to 9. When you're adding 2, it's pointing to 8. All right, it's pointer.
তো ওটা
So when
আগেই
you
হলো।
so like when you're using insert, right, first you have to give the pointer, like the iterator, which is pointing to the box before which you want to insert, right? You want to insert 5 before 8. So first you give the iterator pointing to 8, which is v dot begin plus 2 and v dot begin plus 2. Before this you want 5. So yeah, this is a pointer and then this is a variable. Iterator and then the variable. Okay.
Yes.
So what is the iterator that is pointing to 8? I just explained this to you. Come on, try. Just give me any answer. Hello. Write in the chat, at least. Acha. So,
Dot begin plus 3.
yes, correct. Very good, Atrika. So this is begin plus 3. V dot begin points to 10. V dot begin plus 3 points to 8. 1, 2, 3. Okay. This is what I was asking you all. So you inserted 5 before 8. So v dot insert is clear, I hope. And then you have v dot pop back. So what 1 second. So what pushback was doing is it was adding a value to the end of the container. Say the container is this is the present container. So if you want to add in value, you would do v dot pushback, then the value. Say you want to add 11. Okay, this is how you add values to the container, right? Using pushback. So when you want to delete values from the container from the back, you use pop back. Pop back will delete the last box. Okay, so suppose this is not there. This is the container. If you use pop back, it will delete the box that contains 4. Okay. Is pushback and pop back clear?
Could you explain the pop back once again?
Okay. See, this is what it's printing now, right? The last value is 5. Let's see what it prints now. See, the 5 is not there. Pop back removes the last value in the container, in the vector.
So it
I couldn't get you. Could you like repeat, Adrika?
okay, so it removes the last value,
Yeah.
just gives the like other digits which is given.
Huh. So it removes the last box from the container.
Okay.
So this is clear. And then you have sets. Also, 1 second. You also have erase. Erase. Here you give the value that you want to erase. So like you want to erase 7.
It is the seventh one, maybe.
Huh? No, 1 second. I think I got this wrong.
Will it be v dot begin plus 4?
Acha,
Like that?
mm, I'm not sure if this takes the location or the number itself. 1 second. Let me look this up. So we don't use erase much, right? When we're doing competitive programming. Like, at least I don't. So this small things escape our mind. 1 second. Erase.
Try with iterator position.
Huh. Zero. Begin. So like you don't give the value that you want to delete, but you give the position of, like, you give the position where you have the value that you want to delete. When first it was 10,95876, now it's 95876 because I have deleted the number that is that v dot begin points to. So you want to delete the last.
Oh.
Um.
So if plus 4, then it is the fourth value. That is the seventh value.
Yeah. Also, you cannot use v dot end because I told you, right? V dot end points to just after the last box, not the last box. Okay.
Yeah.
So for this, you need to use v dot end -1. Yeah, see, it deletes 5 here.
Is the last box 6 only, or after it also is there any other box?
No, we only had this, and then we were doing pop back, right? So 5 already got deleted. And then we are erasing v dot 6. So
This
now
one.
it's 10,958,7.
Okay.
See, we're deleting 2 times. First pop back and then using erase.
So nearly both of them have the same use. Just the exception is v erase uses the other. Like if you can erase another variable also. And
Yes, v dot pop back only deletes the last value, and v dot erase is if you want to delete some other value from the container.
Okay.
And v dot clear will delete everything. Yes, so you no longer have any values to print because this is deleting everything for you. Okay.
Okay.
So I think we're done with vectors. If we don't have any more doubts in this.
No more doubts.
Okay. Then we will move on to sets. So sets are sort of similar to vectors, the only difference being you cannot store duplicate values in set. So like in the previous one, we were storing 5 2 times, right, in vector. And we could have stored it as many times as we wanted. Like we could have stored 5 times or 4 times, but you cannot do that in sets. You can store each value only once. And if you have studied sets in maths, that is what sets means, right? Like you cannot have the same value twice in a set. So the way you declare a set,
Could you explain the sets? Like
okay,
what
see.
it is exactly?
Yes. No. 1 second. So the way you declare a set is similar. We were writing vector here. You just replace the vector word with set. Set data type, and then the name of the set, which is S. And then say I'm storing this in the set. And I want to print it. See, you get only 1, 2, 3, but we have three times, right? But you get it only once because that is what the set is storing. It does not store duplicate values. It stores each value only once.
Okay, so it does not use a repetition.
Yes, it doesn't allow repetition. That, and also there is another thing. See, if I'm storing 5, 4, 3, 2, what do you think this should print?
Will it be
One of us is having network issues because I cannot hear you. Write it in the chat, maybe, Adrika.
no? Actually, I said it. Will it be 1, 2, sorry, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yes, exactly, because in sets, the values are stored in a sorted order. So no matter how you store them while you're giving input, it will always store them in a sorted order. So from in an increasing order, basically.
Okay, but why did
আবার
it print a 1? Like there was a 2, 3, 4, 5.
Huh? Cannot hear you.
I had a doubt that why did it print 1, 2, 3? Why not 2, 3, 4, 5?
I have not executed this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see? That was
Yeah,
from the previous code.
yeah, okay. I had said this answer only, so I had a doubt.
Yes. You were correct.
Okay.
So yes, those are the main two differences, and also the way we're indexing in vectors, right? We're doing like this. This you cannot do in sets.
আমাকে
The
একটা
sets cannot be indexed. What?
বললে
Yes.
সবসময় অ্যাসেন্ডিং অর্ডারে সর্টেড থাকবে, সেটার কি লজিক, মানে সেটা কেন হয়?
See, these two are different containers, right? The same, so it has the two different containers have the individual properties. So in set, that is how it has been, built, right? Like sets always store them in a sorted order. That is the logic.
ওকে,
Like there's no reason. This is a type of container. Just a second.
ইন দ্যাট কেস তো সেটের বদলে ভেক্টরটা ইউজ করলেও অনেক কাজ হয়ে যাবে, মানে ম্যাক্সিমাম কাজ তো তাহলে ভেক্টর দিয়েই হবে, সেট তো অত বেশি।
Nah. Sometimes you have problems in competitive programming where you want to store, unique values, not duplicate values. So that is when you'll use vectors. And also when you're using vectors, and if you want to want the values in a sorted order, you need to use this particular modifier, which is sort. So this will then v dot begin and v dot end. So I have not taught you this yet, but this is for the next session. But like this is what it does, right? It sorts the vector. In sets, you get this by default. You don't have to do all that. You don't have to remove the duplicate values or sort them manually. Sets do that for you.
Okay, got it.
Sets are pretty useful in competitive programming, solving problems. Okay, so this is the syntax. Stores elements in sorted order. All elements have unique values, and yes, it cannot be modified. Like you cannot change each value. I told you, like indexing is not possible, so you cannot do this that I was doing previously. Okay, this you cannot do for sets. And this I have taught you. Begin, end, size, max size. So these three I've taught you, and you use them the same way you use them for vectors. So s dot begin, s dot end, and you have s dot size, which will give you the size, which is 4. Yes, you get 4 here. Okay. Max size is what it can store, like what the capacity, basically, not how much is storing right now, but what it can store. This you won't be using much. This is just for you to know max size. So yes, there is this huge number. So this is the number of values that you can store in a set. Also, if you want to check if a set is empty or not, you use say if s dot empty, sorry, the set is not empty, right? It has some values, so it's printing false. So this is to check if a set is empty or not. This works. You can use empty on vectors too. You can use all of these on both sets and vectors. Okay, all of these functions: begin, end, size, max size, empty. All right. Yeah. So that was it, I think. Today's session could be a bit kind of confusing because these are new things, and also I'm not in a very good state of mind right now, which is why I was making so many mistakes. But do you have any questions in this part? I'll clear all doubts right now in the entire thing that I've taught you, vectors plus sets.
Actually, what is the use of s dot empty over here?
This checks whether see, say was it capital or was it small? True, so we check conditions in F, right? Condition,
Yeah.
and then so this is the condition. So is the set empty? If like s dot empty is a function which gives you two values, true or false. So if the set is empty, it will give you true, and if it's not empty, it will give you false. Okay.
Okay.
So
So it is not
since this,
empty, so it is showing false.
yes, had it been empty, like say I do s dot clear. No, not this. Like I'm not giving any values here. Yes, it's giving true right now because the set is empty, right? We haven't given it any values, stored any values here.
Okay, so it's just like checking the conditions.
This is a condition. If the if else format is same everywhere, you will always have the condition in parentheses, okay, and then you will have this whatever you want to execute if the condition is true. Okay. Adrika? I could not get you. Could you repeat? Or just write
I
yes in
said,
chat.
yeah, I understood.
Okay, okay. All right. And any more doubts?
No.
Okay. Avrudeep?
Nope. All clear.
Okay, so this was basics of SQL, and this is what you will be. These are the two containers that we'll mainly be using for competitive programming, if you plan on doing that in the future. And yeah, I will not extend this class any further. This today is going to be a short class. So just practice this, and I will give you an assignment on vectors and sets. There will be another session either Saturday or Sunday, and that will be the last session where I'll teach you this sorting and some other common functions, and I'll also teach you data type conversion part. Okay, and I'll take whatever doubts you have on the last day.
Okay.
Okay, then.
Assignment will be in Discord.
মাথায় কোনো ডাউট আসলো তখন কি করব?
Okay, one at a time. First, Adrika.
Will the assignment be on Discord?
I will give the assignment on WhatsApp, post the assignment on WhatsApp too. But say I give a question of the day, that you won't be able to get on WhatsApp.
Question of
Okay.
the day. এই সপ্তাহে
Yes,
একটাও
if I do. Yes, I was not well. Acha, yes, so Adrika, if I do post question of the day this week, if being the operative word, so that I won't be posting on WhatsApp.
Okay.
So like just install Discord. I've been saying this from the first class. You won't regret it. And yes, Avadi, what were you saying previously?
দাঁড়া আমি নিজে বলে হ্যাঁ বলছি এই লাস্ট সেশনটা হওয়ার পরে যদি আমাদের মাথায় কোনো ডাউট হয় তখন কি করব?
Join tech club.
Join Tech Club. Yes,
Tech Club
join Tech
has
Club.
24/7 doubt solving support.
আমার ক্লাসমেট একজন অলরেডি টেক ক্লাবে আছে, মানে ক্লাস 11 জয়েন করেছে, একটা ক্লাসও করেনি আজ পর্যন্ত।
এটাই আবার
So
নিজের
that
ব্যাপার
is
না।
the or নিজের personal problem. Skill issue.
Severe.
ও রোবোটিক্সে আছে।
ওই ক্লাস না করলে আমাদের তো কিছু করার নেই না, জোর করে তো করতে পারবো না।
এখানেও যেমন কি ক্লাস তো সামার ক্যাম্পে।
Stella?
Huh?
I just had a doubt. For
Yes,
taking
yes.
computer science, do you need science stream in class 11?
Yes, you need science stream, but for humanities, I think there's a separate subject called IP or something.
Okay, because actually in
That is
science
not
stream,
computer science
not?
exactly, but you'll basically be taught database handling and that kind of thing. Not computer science exactly.
Actually, I wanted to take the science stream, but I did not know whether computer science can come in science stream or not.
Yes, yes. Like for science stream, you have option, right? You have to choose between biology or computer. So if you want to take biology, you cannot take computer.
So biology and computer not together.
Nah. PCMB and PCMC. Physics, chemistry, maths, bio, or physics, chemistry, maths, computer.
Okay.
You're in class 10. No, in 9.
I'm in class 10 now.
Acha. Cool.
এখনো বন্ধুদের কাছে পেক খাই বায়ো নেওয়ার জন্য।
Like actually, I just came to DPS recently, so I did not know whether we can take computer science in science stream or not, like that.
Like this structured PCMB, PCMC, it's common for all schools, like all schools under CBSE.
You'll also get like a notice towards the end of session asking you for stream and all, like written proper detail there.
Yes. Like there are other options too, physical education and stuff. Yes. Okay, then no more questions. Do you all have anything to say?
No, no more questions.
Okay, then. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.